everyone, I'm Blazer for Hire. It has been a long time since I've made a video, and if you haven't seen any of my community posts, you may not know why. I've had some life stuff going on that was just a little tougher than I expected it to be. But I haven't been completely gone. You see, I've actually been working quite a lot on this server to get everything that I planned done. Now, there are things that have been left undone. However, this is the last episode of Season 3 at CraftWorks, and I just want to walk through everything that Lane and I built here, whether I collaborate. I want to walk through everything that I've collaborated on here. You might see a little bit of stuttering because we are quite late in the season, and that does happen a little bit, but also I've installed a mod that allows me to see very far. So, gonna give a possibly a longer tour of the things that I've been working on. So, of course, we have the Monorail building, which has been here for quite a while. You might see some things to the left that I've also been working on those things. I'm going to tour through all the things that I've built. I'm going to tour the main base that Lane and I have been working on, and then I will tour some of the things in Spawn, some of the things in the shopping district, and then the final thing that technically none of you have seen, and I'm super excited because I do have some plans to do with that. However, as you can see, I'm gonna go into free cam. This is the Monorail building. We have seen this quite a bit. However, you may not have caught the interior of the building. We have this tree and the benches. I changed the floor a little bit. I put a farm in here because I thought that would be fun. We got a water tank that goes to like water sprayers and the melons and the lights, and I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite things. Then we have this bee house over here, which I think is really cool because they have like honey taps. Which I want to say this now because I'll probably forget later. This world will be for download on the CraftWorks SMP website, where we also have the merch and like little blurbs about everyone and links to everyone. So I just wanted to say that now because I knew that I was probably gonna forget. So you will be able to download this entire world, and there might be a few things left behind that, you know, some secrets that people may not have shown, but I'm only going to show my builds because this video would be very, very long if I went through everyone's builds. This is the Italian restaurant. I added like green candles to be like olive oil, and we added like all the fun paintings and lighting, the brick oven that actually goes to the kitchen, you know, the faux foliage, and that one hideous painting in the bathroom that is clearly in the bathroom for a reason. But I really like how the Italian restaurant turned out. It's really cute. The kitchen is not super insane. We got the thing that you hang the tools on. We got some cabinets, a counter space, the oven, and the countertop. And then you can see out this way. And yes, I will show you that soon. But I gotta show you the Monorail building first, because I actually did the interior. We also have some floating jellyfish around as lighting, which is cool. and we got some ads just kind of popped around here and there. We have the cafe, which I have to free cam because you won't be able to see it. Oh, sorry, my screen went a little wonky. Here's the cafe. It totally says cafe. It is totally legible. And then we have a teacup and a iced coffee, or a hot coffee and a cold coffee, you know. But we got this, which has an umbrella, and then Aggies, and then all the little tables. And you can also see out here, and we can see Cube's area, Millie's area, that's also my area, and then out this side is Elaine's area. So if you want to see like what he did all out there, go watch his tour, because he toured the stuff and the things. He toured his stuff. This is the monorail, like the actual thing that's supposed to do the stuff and the things and transport people everywhere. We also have this kind of like little outcropping that you can just kind of explore. Lots of greenery, not much purpose, but then we have the pneumatic tube, which brings us to the axolotl sanctuary. We have the blue, pink one is Bubble, the pink one is Dimper, the yellow one is Sundrop, and the brown one is Chip. Because, well, brown, chocolate chip, yellow, Sundrop, because, well, he looks so yellow, he looks like a sour candy. Dimper, because I decided. And Bubble, also decided. However, we also have this spiral staircase that goes up here, and this goes to the waiting room. So we have this waiting room over here for people who want to take the monorail. I'm going to sleep for a second because I don't want mobs, because that would be dangerous. And then there's an upstairs, which has rocks and greenery coming from the ceiling. We have the lighting that you can actually see from the outside. And this is just another waiting area. And downstairs. And then we have the monorail. It's got windows. It's got seating. And you can actually walk between them. Is it super safe? No. But there's also a giant window and you can see the front. There's nobody to man it, but like, you know, this is solar punk. Who needs drivers when it's solar punk? I don't know. Also, they're supposed to be like, I made the roof out of blackstone, so this is supposed to be like giant solar panels basically. So it at minimum can power these lights, because yeah, you know, solar punk technology, natural stuff and things. I mean, there's a giant tree here because it's plants. My logic, impeccable. That is, in fact, sarcasm for anyone who doesn't know. This is our storage room that Lane built, but I thought I would show this off as the storage room is just really cool, and I didn't have to build it. We have so many resources, it's insane. But that's what you get when you have two resource hoarders that are also builders. Yeah, funny enough, we didn't use all the storage, but I'm actually gonna walk to this area because I made this small path here that travels to the monorail building and the next spot we're going to travel to. It's a very simple path. I'm glad that I made it super simple because a little more is going on over here, but I wanted to make sure that there was a path to the monorail building. Even though there's no slabs, it's okay. It's lit up enough that it shouldn't be super dangerous during the nighttime. And I will be free camming a lot because there's just a lot of areas that are better seen from the sky, and it's easier to do a free cam than it is from elytra. This is one of the yellow houses. Each of the yellow, I actually have 2 of every single colored house that I have sitting around. This is the yellow house. It's adorable. I love it. I made a few of these. They all have like a furnace and wood and some decorations. I don't make interiors a lot, but I made interiors. We got a little pond over here with some duckweed and a bench to sit at. We'll get to that in a second because that took a while. There's no interior, but that's okay. So as we go along these paths, you'll see very far and wide, we have many houses that are very sparsely spaced, and that's intentional. We have a little town square that's not super fancy, and all of these buildings have interiors. So if you're ever like, oh, I'm curious, again, we have the download on the CraftWorks SMP website. I will put that in the link down below. But every single one of these houses has an interior. They are distinguished between like what color house it is. So if both of the red houses look exactly the same, both of the pink houses look the same, I'm not going to go through every interior as much as I would love to, because again, I kind of got a lot of things to go through, and this would be a very long video. This is our main nether portal. I really love how it turned out. We got benches. We have this like super colorful ring around here. This was one of the things that inspired building this. I found this on Pinterest. Surprise, surprise. Not a surprise. I wanted to make like the pergola? Gondola? Whatever this thing is. I wanted to make this shape thing, and I wanted to use... I was dead set on using purple because I wanted purple to look good, and it doesn't look bad. I mean, it doesn't look hideous. I really like how it turned out, and we have this giant flower on the top, and the vines growing from the top, and I don't know, I really like it. I like how it turned out. Very, very grand nether portal with the giant neodymium magnets. I was going to use netherite blocks for that for like a millisecond. I was like, no, that's not happening. I don't have the time for that. So I used gilded blackstone. But I really like how they turned out because they look like little planets, all like spinny and stuff. Yeah, so we just got a lot of paths. There is also another pond over here because I wanted to be able to kind of see, there's a giant cave over here, and I wanted this to kind of overlook that area. So we got a really wide bench over here. We got more houses. This is meant to be like sort of rural. Can I not say that word? Rural? Ah, jeez. This is supposed to look like a sparse area where people have lots of yard, but also people have well-built paths. So, I don't know. I really like it. I'll show you the pink house because the pink house has something different. We have this kind of terraced area. I wanted this to look a little bit terraced, and I like how it turned out because I wanted to put this house here and I wanted to put it facing this way. I really like how this turned out. It also uses purple. I was surprised that it turned out the way that it did. The interior is not the fanciest thing in the world, but it's an interior. It has a bedroom. It has an attic that isn't in the attic. It's kind of just in the middle, which is okay. And we have a little garden on top, which a few of these buildings do. I will say, I'm not sure I fully accomplished the solar punk kind of thing, but I definitely used a lot of color. And I tried to add some farms on top. And I kept it pretty sparse because I thought that would be fitting for something solar punk. Lane definitely used more technology in what he did. The next thing I'm super excited to show you, which maybe I'll do a quick fly out here. As you can see, I have Voxy installed, which is amazing because I can see so many people's builds from here. Let me go further out this way so it's easier to see for longer. It's kind of lush. This is the... Okay, I definitely use free cam for this. This is the giant, like, it was going to be an apartment building. Actually, the original purpose was to be like a big farm with like shops on the side, but I decided it's an apartment building. And we have like loads of greenery on these terraced areas. I love the terraced areas. I didn't get as much like drooping foliage and stuff, but it's fine. And this is the skyscraper. We got windmills on top and some like smaller apartment buildings. These do not have interiors, but hey, if somebody wants to make interiors when they have the download, like, hey, I'm totally fine with that. And then that's a giant apartment building. It's giant. I'm gonna say, I'm a little ashamed. I never made a staircase for this building to enter this building because I wasn't sure how I wanted the entrance to look. And this is the massive amount of space that exists in this building. It is huge. I am not making interior for this. Oh no. But I really like how like all the little lush things turned out. It was pretty bare out here and I needed something simple. And something, I'm gonna say this now, something that I've intentionally at this point left for anyone to do if they so decide to download this and want a task to do. This area is supposed to be a cave. I never got to doing the cave. It contains the moss farm, which I will say is not perfect. I admit that. You have to make sure that you don't leave the premises unless it's turned off. It must be turned off before leaving the premises or it'll break. And it produces a lot of bone meal / bone blocks. However, there is an issue where somehow, I don't know how, somehow moss gets into the water stream and then clogs the auto crafters. I admit it's not perfect. However, point is, this was supposed to be a cave. I never did that. I just didn't have the time. This season came to an end quite rapidly, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out, but I am in a reminiscent mood because this season has been so wonderful and so much has happened and I'm so looking forward to things that are new. But it's hard letting go because I just have so many memories. And it's time to go where some of the core memories have happened, and that is Spawn. As you know, starting a server is where a lot of memories happen because people are on super frequently. And I will get to that building in the distance later because that's the last thing that I need to do. But this CraftWorks logo, actually I need to free cam here because it's too large. This CraftWorks logo is one of the things in my trailer, my trailer of entering the season, and it ended up being that this was one of the first things that I did in the season. was Millie, I, and Archon started removing the hill that used to be here, and the Diamond Armor crew helped with some of the final stuff so we could put grass on top and fill in the logo. Shash was absolutely insane and got diamond armor for like multiple people, the diamond mining crew, and the diamond blocks for this pickaxe. You might be thinking, Blaze, you're insane. Why did you build with diamond blocks? Who builds with diamond blocks? You see, I never planned for this to be a survival build. However, people really liked the build and were like, oh, that would be awesome at spawn. And I'm like, it has diamond blocks. And some people mentioned, like, why did you use diamond blocks? And I'm like, I had zero plans of building this in survival. It looked the best compared to, like, cyan wool, in my opinion, because I liked that it looked shiny. And then it was like, oh, hey, by the way, do you want to build this on the server? And I'm like, yes, but also, this takes a lot of diamond blocks. So here we are. Also, I built this path. I know Millie and a few other people helped me to kind of finalize this path. This was something I built on the test server because we have a test server for people to kind of, you know, get to know each other, get used to each other that isn't content creator related, because, you know, it can feel nerve-wracking when you're in a new group of people, especially if they feel established. And so yeah, this was one of the things that I built in that test server. Another thing I built in the test server was Chains and Pain's Jungle Gym. Technically, this parkour course it's supposed to be kind of difficult. Some people are just really good at parkour and really good at doing it. However, every single part of this course is actually supposed to be completable in like one go. Like, you don't have to stop at any point. Now, it's difficult. However, you can chain all your jumps together and make it to the end. There's actually a book up there where you can put your name in the book and you update the number every single time you have made it up to the top. There may be a few people who have like a 0.5 or point bajillion because they did make it up there legit, but it was really funny. And this is Wen's base, and he changed the leaves to be like the pale oak to be like cold, which was cool. However, the thing that we're going to see is my base. These giant mushrooms here, and this giant tree trunk that's overgrown. This was an idea by Melissa, and I went with it because I absolutely loved it. We got a bench here. We got loads of like fireflies going around because firefly bushes are amazing. And this is like a super, super nice build like during nighttime. Oh, it's beautiful during nighttime. But we got the tree trunk with the bracket fungus, and that's a beehive up there. And we got the giant mushrooms, medium mushrooms, and small mushrooms of various colors. We got these paths, and this is actually my base. We got the horse, Dibberdormer, Forderdonna, Gordon, Toddler, Zipfel, Flautner, Odendorfen. We got blueberry, s'more, crumb, toast, cupcake, Dubit, Kapatafava, Goddardonna, Fagdar, Herder, Sneffentelheimen, and Jerry. We also have this Allay that really likes the the headboard of the bed. And we have a frog who is yet to be named who hopped up there and decided that's his home. Lane just popped him into my house. He went there. He has never left. I literally don't have to do anything. He loves it there. Oh, and we have 2 parrots, also yet to be named. Then down here, this is the golden apple tree. And this was my old storage room. Yeah, it used to be full of barrels and crafting stations and furnaces. Then here we have an area for bone mealing flowers, the mud maker. Behind here is my cactus farm. Here's the sniffer farm. This is the kelp smelter. So you fill these chests here and it automatically smokes kelp into dried kelp, and then the dried kelp gets auto crafted into kelp blocks, so the excess always goes here. We also got the little sea pickle farm, which I think is cute and adorable. It was something I did on very much a whim. We have almost a barrel full of every single dye. If it's not a barrel full, that's because we've been using the dye. And this is how many seeds we've got. It's just full of torch flower seeds, and so that's why it's not going anymore. And this is the cactus farm. It has tons of cactus. Enough said. You will never need cactus if you have this world. There's so much cactus. It's not that fast of a farm, but I mean, I also don't need that much cactus. And then we have the back entrance, which is good that we have the back entrance because that leads into this here, which is actually the community farm. I'm going to free camp. This is the community farm. I made an azalea forest. We have lots of... We should have every single crop. Potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, melons. There's beets over in this direction over here. And then we have loads and loads of wheat because a lot of us use lots of mud. So you can compost the seeds here, drop off things here. There's chickens over here that never left. And this is the TV station. The TV station was a collaborative effort between me, Winter Wendigo, and Lucky Lane Zero. Most of what I worked on was this, like, battery pack with a solar panel on top. Wen did the coal generator, the tree, and the dish on top. This is actually a radio station. Oh, I also placed like a whole bunch of blocks in a random shape. That's how sometimes I come up with buildings. Is just make random shapes and we're just like, yeah, there we are. But this is the reception desk. Lane also did like the middle section. So reception desk, waiting area, I guess other waiting area, and this is kind of like the TV recording station. This was 100% Lane. Yeah, that was 100% Lane. That was actually, we did this in the creative server, but the downstairs I think was done just like totally in survival. Yeah, the next thing I built was the Netherwart farm. This is going to be a little dark, so I am going to change my settings to not be moody. So this might feel a little bright. Oh, I don't think that changed anything. Let's hope it changed something, because this is quite dark. Actually, I wonder... I'll show you with shaders and then I'll show you without shaders, because it does look different with and without shaders. this is... Oh, this definitely looks better with the moody setting. I think it did really fix things. This is the Netherwart farm. It's supposed to look like a really big cave, and there's actually blackstone all the way in the back, as you can see. So that's supposed to make it look like the cave goes back further. I mean, it's already a big space, but it's supposed to look like it goes further. So I don't necessarily recommend going like full brightness. However, I'm doing that for your sake because I realized in the video that I'm toward this, it was very dark and I couldn't see squat. So we have a very giant netherwart farm. As you can see, very large. You will never need netherwart ever again, and I put a bed and some barrels here for just that reason. Also, this just leads to like all the andesite and the granite that I found here because I cleared out this area quite a bit. And so this is just for anyone who needs a spot to just clear out loads of andesite, granite, and diorite. Because there were a lot of spots that I ran into and I didn't want to clear them out as I had to clear out this whole entire area already. And I'm gonna show you without shaders. This is with full brightness. Let me see. Let's do like 60%. Because I think this is going to look really dark for you guys. It's not super foggy because I think I have fog off, but if you do have fog on, this looks really, really cool. It looks all spooky and stuff. However, I'm going to reduce this down to 0. Nope. Brightness. Apply. Done. I know you will see absolutely nothing here, but this is kind of the, if you do download this is the vibe I was going for. Because when you do this, you get like a little bit of fog in the distance, and it looks like the cave goes on for like ever. It's awesome. However, I'm going to enable my shaders, which is going to take a second. It is very blue. I mean, this also looks cool. I actually think this build looks better without shaders, but I mean, it could also just be, it would look better with a different shader. Or just maybe without colored lighting. Oh, it's so bright. I'm gonna get a little bit of stutter because I changed shaders. What else do we need? Ah, the nether portal. We must go to the nether portal because this is everything that I've done in spawn, aside from the nether portal area. And the nether portal will go all the way back to the shopping district. And I mean, I guess I could show you the hideous hut. It's nothing special. But I'll show you it. Oh, I should free cam this because this is going to be easier to show you. This is how I show things because it's easier to get a concept of what I actually did. So the nether portal was over here where this sign says trees going here after portal is moved Chechinkogi. And we moved the portal over here. So I continued the path over this way. I stopped the path over here because I wasn't sure what people wanted to do over there. And I did like a miniature birch forest. So we got white tulips, jungle leaves, lichen, and subscribe if you really like this channel and want to see more. I know, overused joke, but like and subscribe. We got moss and azalea bushes. We got custom birch trees and birch bushes. I wanted a whole variety. Oh, and berry bushes, which I'm sorry for all those that hate berry bushes. And wildflowers. Azure Bluets, I wanted it to really feel like a birch forest. I did want to extend this further than the this rectangle that I did. However, I never did, because I didn't know what people wanted to do with the rest of the area. And then this is the nether portal. This is what I'm about to say is going to make more sense once we go through the other side of the portal. This is the tip of a sword blade that is overgrown and crumbling. I'm going to leave it at that because we're about to go through the portal. It's going to stutter for a second. Oh boy. Welcome to the nether portal. I really like how this nether portal turned out. This was a collaboration between me, Lucky Lane Zero, Winter Wendigo, and E. E did the belt and the sword hips. Wen did the top hilt. I would say I just kind of had the idea. It was part of a bigger idea, but I guess I don't know, I felt like I kind of was the leader of the project, where I was trying to be yeah, this is what I have mentally in my head, and they kind of took the reins on how to execute the details. So we have this giant sword that has a crystal at the top that's glowing, and we have these giant particles and swoopy bits in the sky. Absolute pain. We have these giant rocks spires that go outward, and this kind of portally shape, which absolutely has to be seen from the sky, because you can't really see the shape unless I show you it this way otherwise, and it's kind of hard to show because it's far away. But I will say, this is a personal choice if you so decide. We found out that you can't use string to prevent all mobs from spawning, like piglins and stuff. Oh, that's the wrong block. That's the wrong block. That's better. We use pink and purple wool, concrete, and concrete powder to do an improved design. I loved the design. However, because things were spawning on it, it meant that it was still kind of dangerous because we were getting piglins and zombie piglins. It was more the piglins that were the issue. Also, be very careful if you are entering this portal with a horse. You need to be very centered on the portal. Please be very centered on the portal if you decide to enter with a donkey or a horse. This is just the way down, so that's that. That's all the types of wrong directions. We have a few farms out here, like Lane's Froglight Farm. I have a basalt farm over here. Over there. We'll go to the Hideous Hut all the way that direction, but right now we are going to pass the gold/bartering farm and go to the shopping district. I'll try to cover my shops really quick. We'll go to the Hideous Hut real quick, and then the final build. I'm really excited to show you because it's a build that I'm really proud of, and oh, it's a sign of the end of this season, and yeah, I'm sentimental. So we have this Melissa built, and this pathway is kind of like a Mario style pathway with the bricks. The frog lights are supposed to be like the gold blocks because it needed lighting, and so I was like, these yellow frog lights are great. And then nether brick for the blocks that you like, you go bing and it turns all dark and stuff. Yeah, I really like how it turned out. Millie did like finish the pathways. As I started the pathways, I had so many more plans for these paths. I had themed paths for like every single person's shop, and then I realized I was like, I don't have the energy to actually do that. This is my sniffer egg shop. It's nothing special. Oh, I'm just realizing my GUI is all different. That's why that was weird. Okay, I forgot. I didn't realize I changed. I was like, this is different. This is a bone to pick. This skeleton is a design by Golden Robin, I think. And this is a... I've seen this design like a lot of different places. However, I kind of made it my own with the different like stones and deep slate, and I love it. I want to do this again somewhere. Don't know where, but this is a bone to pick. And it is my bone meal shop. 2 diamond blocks for 1 shulker box. And I think it's a diamond for a stack of bone blocks. So technically it's cheaper if you use lots of bone blocks to go with that. I think it's like, what is it? 1/3 cheaper? Because if you buy 9 stacks of bone blocks from there, that would be 3 diamond blocks, and it's 2 diamond blocks over there. So you're saving diamonds. Anywho, that's not the only shop that I have. I have actually quite a few shops. Maybe too many. This has mangrove roots. This was a little baby shop that has shifted places so many times. This is before you leaf. You have to crouch inside because these are meant to be like just small enough for bees to get into, but not for like wasps and things, which is super cool. This is just honeycomb blocks, candles. Oh, I'll take that diamond. Oh, take the last diamond. These are just kind of like back stock that I use to refill, and those aren't empty because of and honey blocks. So I don't sell honey bottles because it wasn't something that people really needed. And I was like, the only use they have is eating and sugar. And this is actually the bee farms themselves. This side is all honey bottles. I think I've recently went into here to use some of this material. And this side is honeycomb. It's full. It's full. And that is from people just visiting the shopping island, the shopping district. Like, that's not from me AFKing here. There's quite a few levels. I think I have about 3 levels or so. They do take trapdoors for me to enter. They have to crouch in. I haven't refilled this in a while. Let's see. 1, 2, yeah, 3. There's 3 levels. Technically, this takes up more space than it needs to because these aren't side by side. Basically, there was an issue on my part where I wasn't doing the redstone properly. Surprise, surprise. So technically, these can be like all next to each other if you do it right. So I could have halved the space or doubled my production. However, I didn't need that. This farm was super overkill, but I really, really, really wanted the farm and shop to be a giant, like, hive box, and I actually pre-planned this quite a bit ahead of time. Actually, all 3 of these shops I pre-planned ahead of time. This is my 2 cents, because this is copper. And basically I just give you my suggestions, and it's a diamond block per hour with a minimum of a diamond block, so you cannot cheat the system. I was gonna make it charge copper, but it makes sense to make it diamonds because that's kind of the currency that we have here. This is the crumb, which is supposed to be kind of like a bakery slash cafe that you can just hang out. This is kind of the, I was gonna say observatory, but it has a few hanging plants. It's pretty. You can see most shops from here. It's really cool. I really like how this shop turned out. It's a giant cake. And I sell cookies, pumpkin pie, and cake. Basically, I filled this. Oh, and if you buy a cake, you get a free candle. I pretty much just made the materials once. And I didn't have to fill the shop like ever again. This was very much like I know that this isn't gonna do well, but that's okay. It was just a really fun idea. I really love how the cake turned out, like doing the topping and whatnot and the sides. Just, I think it was a really fun spin on an idea that I've seen a few times, but I just really like that spin on the idea. But the next thing, I'm actually gonna fly to the shop. This hideous 90s cup design with the swooshes is mangroovy. This is my mangrove shop, and as you can see, it looks even more hideous on the inside. I'm also going to turn off the shaders to show you, but this is supposed to be, as you can see, we have like these music discs. So this is the DJ station. Ah, jeez. That's what happens when you step on the DJ station. We have a few music discs here. Do we have backups here? Yeah, we have backups behind there, and so you can play them, and we can dance on the dance floor that's always going. We have a whole bunch of pool tables because the pool tables are super cool. And then we have these supply closets which have mangrove leaves and mangrove logs. The farm that I made is efficient enough that it is now one stack of a diamond for a stack of leaves, because I have to do that manually, and 1 diamond for 2 stacks of mangrove. I don't have to AFK very long to get a ton of mangrove wood. So it's, I haven't stocked this in a while because I just haven't needed to. I have restocked the shop a few times because I know Lane used a lot of chests, as you could see from the storage room. He used lots of mangrove wood, but that was before he realized I didn't have a farm. And then I did make a farm before I had to go away on vacation. And he also used a ton of mangrove wood. This is B&B's Crate and Barrel. I wanted to name it Crate and Barrel because of crate and barrel, which, if you're not familiar with, I don't know how many people have Targets, but Target has a budget brand, and the budget brand for some of the food items are Crate and Barrel, and so this is Crate and Barrel because it is concrete and they're in barrels. But the B&B stands for Blaze and Breeze because Breeze helped me build the shop. I designed the shop, but we both kind of like collaborated on it. And we have this concreter, so if you want to use the concreter, I don't know why there isn't a trapdoor there. There should be a trapdoor there, but that's not the point. Lots of concrete. We have powdered concrete and pre-made concrete, and it is 1 diamond for half a stack of powder and 2 diamonds for half a stack of straight up concrete. And there's this barrel for if you need like little bits and bobs of different concrete types, whether powder or pre-made. So this is just kind of like the misc bin. What else? Norm did some of these like funky lights. He was experimenting with lighting. It's kind of fun. What else? Oh, I know what I want to show you. This is a detail that you don't see unless you take a step on the outside. I put a whole bunch of like flowers and concrete powder, and this was inspired by something that Izzy did for her cafe. She did like a little cafe that was kind of a hangout spot by Spawn last season. And that's what those flowers are inspired by, because it's like when you hire someone to essentially do like art or graffiti on purpose on your shop, that's what that is. I really like how it turned out. We have, you know, this giant cherry tree and also this was inspired by E, because she also made some type of copper truck. Don't ask me what it looked like. I didn't look at the reference. I'm sure it was probably better than this, but I was doing it from memory on purpose because I didn't want it to look like the truck. I just wanted it to have the same palette. Also, I love how this works as like blacktop, black stone. Wonderful blacktop material. Next, that's Mikey's pawn shop, which is super nice. Super cool. Why do we have a mangrove tree here? Oh, it's that. Let's not step too close to that dude, just in case he spawns mobs. Why is there a mangrove tree here? Oh, visit Mangroovy for all the mangrove. Oh, I wonder who did that. I'm thankful for whoever did that. This. Warped Mikey warped. Okay, anyway, this is the tree shop. I don't know who all did the trees. I know this was kind of split up between multiple people. The plan was to kind of have like a fun enchanted forest kind of thing going on, and then do have like a cave beneath it, but it ended up being like, it was a lot of like, I would describe it as a lot of cooks in the kitchen, where it was like, it was split up between so many people that it wasn't the best of plans. However, I'm going to show you the last shop that I have. It's not that one. It's actually this one. This is very much inspired by something I saw on Pinterest. There were a few details that I added and took away to make it my own, but this is Sweeties, which is actually a diorite shop, because if you step in the back, we got concrete powder to be strawberry, chocolate, matcha, and vanilla. You can't tell me that's not matcha. I know you could probably say it's mint, but I just, in my brain, I'm like, matcha. Matcha ice cream. And so we just have all this diorite here. And so if people want diorite, people can grab diorite. Did I ever put I don't think I ever put a price. Well, shoot. That's my bad. And this is the, like, the driver cabin bit. I used shelves as a way to split the two rooms, which I really love. Oh, and I don't know what those are. My brain was like, those are like sprayers. And I'm like, why would I need sprayers? I mean, you could use it to clean out the ice cream tubs, but maybe it's to just spray cool air. I don't know. But I put like spoons here and plates here. Anyway, but you may ask, why put the ice cream shop here? Let me tell you. Let me show you. While people are on the treadmill, they will be watching people eat ice cream. Best marketing placement ever. What else are you gonna do? You're gonna absolutely work your butt off by lifting weights, punching bags, and running on the treadmill, and boxing in the ring, and then you're gonna treat yourself to some Sweeties ice cream because it's been taunting you outside the door. You've been watching people eat ice cream all day as you absolutely work your butt off. And you know what? The best thing you can do is self-care and have some ice cream after you worked out. Strategic placement. I loved the view from the gym. This, I am not going to claim this is me. This is not me. This is Lane. I did help with some details, but this was very much Lane. This is the shopping mall, not the shopping district, the shopping mall. I added those glass panes. There's some these copper pipes here with the spinny thing. Oh, and that's spraying water everywhere. But each one of these is a different shop. Not all of them are full, but the purpose of them was to have like a whole bunch of shops, and they're all like different colors, and it's super fun. I love what he did with the area. And look, the green one has a mushroom awning. Like, how amazing is that? And then we got some flowers just to add a little something something to the outside, and a little pond. However, that is all of the shops. At this point, I have the Hideous Hut to show you, which isn't much. However, we're going to go from the Hideous Hut to the Wizard Tower. I think this is the first time I've actually referred to the building as the building that it is, the Wizard Tower. Some of you are going to recognize it if you've seen the opening trailer of CraftWorks Season 3. That I really loved that trailer. It was one of my favorite things to make as a video. Not that I didn't enjoy making the other videos, but it's one of those videos that I have fond memories of because I spent a lot of time working on it, and I really appreciate how it was. It was very short, only 2 minutes or so. However, I love, the music that I used. I loved just the cinematic shots I used. It was one of the first few times I was using flashback. However, here's the Hideous Hut. I made this building because I was out here for a very long time, as this was one of the first savanna plateaus we had. It was a very small savanna plateau. However, I was trying to get wolves. I was trying to get spotted wolves, as I was trying to get every single wolf type. However, we had a very small Badlands, and we had a very small Savanna Plateau. Although you can't see it from this map, as I didn't transfer over my previous map, I traversed very, very far away, and we do have some Savanna Plateaus and Badlands much further out, and I did end up finding one of each wolf. However, this is where I was kind of camping out for quite a while because, one, I wanted to get that wolf, so there's a lot of miscellaneous materials here that I just didn't need to bring over. I started decorating a little bit. We have a little acacia and mangrove farm, and you can see the gap in the land because I haven't loaded that in with Voxy, but that's fine. The other thing I was working on in the vicinity was my mangrove farm. And I'm not going to show you what's in the Badlands. Actually, maybe I do. Do I? I'm going to show you what's in the Badlands. It's not my build, but it's Melissa's build, and it's a really good build, and I love the build. This is a Propagool farm. Toblocks. This is a version that Toblocks made. So, full credit to him. It has been super useful. It's full of propagools. I used a lot of bone meal. I go through a lot of propagools. This was the first iteration of my bone meal farm. It was not keeping up with the mangrove farm, so I built this one. This was also not keeping up with the mangrove farm because I needed the bone meal for both propagools and mangrove. This is actually the second version of, or the second type of mangrove farm I tried. The first one, the issue I was having was the items, the trees would get exploded, but then the next time the TNT went down, it would explode the items. So I wasn't receiving the items that I needed. That's why I was getting so little mangrove. However, this, again, I don't take credit for this farm either. I'm gonna see if I can find the sign. I can't. Okay, let me look at my schematics for a quick second then. Okay, it is a mangrove farm by Frunos. He did a great job with this farm. I get, within like 5 minutes, I want to say, more than a double chest full. I think next time if I build this farm again, I would put like an auto sorter so that, and possibly a shulker packer, but that would maybe be a bit excessive. I mean, I love doing excessive farms, but that might be a little excessive. But I would definitely want to do like a sorter, so that way all of them are in separate chests and I don't have to sort them manually. Also, I would have a villager that a Fletcher, because then I could trade the sticks. That, or I sell the sticks, but I doubt anyone would buy sticks, so I'd probably just sell them so I can get emeralds. So if I need emeralds for anything, I could just have loads of emeralds. Anywho, what else? Right. One last thing. Technically, this isn't my build, but I want to show it because Melissa worked really hard on this. I know there were a lot of plans that she had that she didn't get to do. And I know that feeling, and it's really a really hard feeling. So I really want to show this building, as I think she's shown the building already. If she hasn't, I might have to wait to put this video out. Or I might have to cut this out. This is Mel's Diner. If you don't know what this is in reference to, this is actually in reference to Nell's Diner from Phasmo and Phasmophobia. She did a great job making this. I mean, you have this entrance area. She really did like loads of details that I know it's a little hard. It's pretty hard to see because it's pretty dark in here, but she really did a great job with like doing all the decorations, and like she paid so much attention to details, and like it's just so good. So this is kind of like the cafeteria area. This is the jukebox, which if you move it flickers on and off. You know, there's stools and a knocked over stool. This is like the counter area. This is like the soda machine where you kind of like spray the sodas out. This is another tap of something, and this is like, that's a camera. This is the other soda machine where it like comes in bottles. We've got the whole kitchen area with the freezer and the flappy thingies. The flappy thingies that you have to walk through. Like the sink area. We have, you know, the cooler over here. I think this is like the main desk. The main office. I don't actually know what all the rooms are called, but like the break room with the thing with the coin slots. It's a game, arcade game, and this is a soda machine also. This is the bathroom with the mopey gas mop. I don't remember what the dried gas mop. The mirror. Oh jeez, I'm gonna get lost in here. This is I think this is the supply closet or the, don't know. I'm gonna get absolutely lost in here. There's a lot of rooms. Oh, here's the bathroom with the demon circle. I forget what it's called. Oh, I think that's the guy's bathroom, and this is the women's bathroom. Yeah. And this is the other arcade game, the other two soda machines. I don't remember what this is. It's hard for me to see, which I bet means it's hard for you to see. But, like, she did all these rooms. This, like, if nothing else, walk around this room, especially if you, like, love Phasmo, because she did such a great job. This build is massive, and she did a great job. It was so much effort, and yeah, she did a great job. I know that's going to embarrass her, but too bad, so sad. Trust me when I say that's not going to sound mean to her. She's going to be like, hey. But she won't actually be offended because, you know, you poke at each other when you get to know each other. Yeah, I'm really happy that she did that build. It's a really great build. I know a lot of us didn't get to complete all the things that we wanted to do, but we got a lot of things done, and I'm super excited to see what the future holds, especially if you've seen the updates. There's some really cool stuff. I'm super excited. There's a lot of stuff and things. I got a lot of ideas. I have no shortage of ideas. That is, I don't know, remember what that farm is. That's Lane's farm for the candy shop. I think I'm gonna go to the spawn portal. I have set up a portal for the wizard tower right here. It like just about collides with this spawn portal, but like barely, so it's not too bad. But just, you know, just in case you decide to go through the portal that's near there, you're not gonna end up in the middle of the nether. I'm actually going to walk to this build because this is a really special build for me. Because if you don't know, this was actually a build that was in my trailer, which I probably already mentioned, but oh wait, I have to go to the skeleton farm because I did that too. So quick detour. Psych! Quick detour. This is the skeleton farm. I put chests and barrels in here. There are a few modifications by other peoples and stuff and things. This was our XP farm for a while. I did not do the skeleton farm itself. I just did like this rib cage room, and I dug this hallway. so we didn't have to deal with the staircase. That is all. Detour over. We're still walking to the Wizard Tower, though. And then we'll have to swim to it. Because it's in the middle of the ocean. Bum, 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 bum. Green has, in fact, gotten that stuck in my head whenever I'm, like, walking somewhere. Does not matter. It is stuck in my head. That's also the lighthouse that Melissa made. Also a build that she spent loads of time on and is really proud of and is very impressive. That is actually a real lighthouse. I think it's St. Augustine's lighthouse in Florida, I want to say. It's supposed to be a haunted lighthouse. However, this is my last build of the season. I will actually crank up my FOV so you can actually get a good look at it, because I know I put my FOV very, very high, and I realize how funky it feels watching my videos on high FOV on phones. I am so sorry. It makes me like claustrophobic having it things so close to my face and hard to see. That is why I have it like cranked up so high. I don't notice the periphery like bending so much, and so that's why I have it so high, because it feels like everything is like up in my face and I don't like it, even though it makes a very different video experience. Anyway, this is the Wizard Tower. If you don't know the backstory of this, actually, I don't think I've shared the backstory of this. I have a series that I started called So Cursed, where I wanted to use very difficult to use blocks. Things that people often are like, I absolutely hate this block, or I find this block terribly difficult to use. And the purpose of it is to pick one of those blocks and intentionally build something where a high proportion of it is made up of that block. Now, the So Cursed block that this was associated with is netherrack, which you'll notice there's not a ton of netherrack compared to the entirety of this build. Only like the very top Wizard Tower portion is a good portion of netherrack. That was the portion that I was going to have in video. Well, technically I was going to have the whole entire build. Oh, this feels so disorienting. I'm sorry. FOV is going to go to Quake Pro again. This builds, the top Wizard Tower part was the part that was like the So Cursed build. However, I had a larger idea that I wanted to do on top of that. This is inspired by somebody else's build on Instagram, which I will see if I can get the link again and put it down below, because they did a great job. This is a variation of it because I had a very different idea to use and I was super excited. This actually looks great at nighttime, but it's not super safe at nighttime over here. We got some weeping trees and giant basalt pillars. The thing that took me the longest is the part that you can't see, and that is all the way down here. We have these really large, I know you're not going to be able to see anything, but these like rocks here. This actually goes down to like level 37. There's a lot of these all the way around. It goes 100 or so blocks out from the very center in all directions. We also did some faux waves, which I really like how they turned out. We've got some lighter gray spires. The actual land itself is inspired by a Barara shore, which is like these basalt pillars that have hexagonal shapes because they're kind of sort of like crystallized, for a lack of a better word. And so that's why I use like different materials like deep slate and basalt to kind of give me that hexagonal look with different layers. And then I added some spires for texture. I added these like little water pools to give the impression that either waves crash up on the shore very, very often, or it floods a lot. Got some funky looking trees, and we got these basalt pieces sticking up there. We got bracket fungus and quartz crystals. I'm gonna show you the interior of the wizard tower because there's no interior here, but I didn't have any intentions on an interior there. So that's that. However, it's a very tall staircase. Which, side note, this staircase is the reason I made a spiral staircase tutorial. This is the portal with all the crying obsidian. It's super like wacky and funky looking, and that's exactly how it's supposed to feel in here. It's supposed to feel really weird. Oh, I never turned off my shaders for that one thing. This is another portal. It's supposed to feel really funky when you look at it from any direction. That's why it's so kind of like wonky inside here, because it's supposed to feel like it changes perspective, and there's like this giant crack in the basalt pillar. But we go up the staircase. But this staircase is the reason I actually did the spiral staircase video, because I was like, good gracious, I need somebody. I wish I had somebody that could tell me how to do a staircase like this, and so I made the tutorial. Which, by the way, I almost scrapped because I was very tangenty and sidetracked a lot. But that's why I made the spiral staircase tutorial, because that would have saved me a lot of time. I spent quite a few hours doing this, and here we are. This is the interior of the main part of the building. We've got a kitchen over here, a dining room over here, which we have Reese's, Lano bar, grilled cheese, and a CraftWorks root beer mug. These had different foods on them originally, but I just had to include these special models that we have with the data pack because I felt that was fitting and reflective of this season. We have this area, which, side note, I'm going to put all my ender chest and inventory stuff in these barrels, and my armor is going to be here. In fact, oops. My armor is reflective of the buildings of the skyscraper, because there's a teal building, an orange building, a yellow building, and a kind of dark red maroon building. Now I'm gonna put this armor on for now because I don't want to die. However, my armor set will be here. The rest of my items, both in my ender chest and over here, my inventory will be in these barrels. We also got the smelting area, an anvil, a smithing table, the seating area to like take off your shoes, somewhere to put your keys. Then we go up this ladder, and again we have a sort of abandoned attic area, even though it's not, it's just, attics are very cobwebby naturally. But we have lots of storage here. If we go up another level, we have the map making area, some wither skulls. These are not actual wither skulls. I had to dye for these. I had to put a skin on for these because I didn't want to go grab wither skulls. At the time, I didn't have access to wither skulls. This is our kind of like map making area. Across this way, we have an enchantment room. Got pumpkins, lanterns, grindstone, another anvil. This frog light doesn't belong here. the enchanting table and all the bookshelves with little plants everywhere and barrels and candles because clutter makes everything look pretty. And that's not the last room though. The last room is the bedroom. It's pretty simple, but that's grandfather clock, bed, chair, little plant, and somewhere to put on your makeup if you put on makeup. It's all the memories. I have a lot of memories, and it feels weird to finally have this build in survival. I've been in this building so many times in creative, it's so wild to have it in survival, and having Voxy, I'm able to see so many of everyone's buildings. A little hard to see from some places, but these aren't intended to be viewing areas. However, if you do have Voxy and you load everything that everyone built, you'll be able to see quite a lot. I know not everything that everyone's built is on the server right now. However, everything that I built is on the server now. So I say this with a heavy heart. But this is the end of season 3 for me. I'll give you a little view of this from far away. This is my last build. This took me quite a while to do, and I'm really happy with it. I never thought I would see it in survival, let alone on an SMP server. It's been such a wonderful time to be here, and I'm so happy that so many of you joined me in this journey. I don't know what else to say. It's just, this makes me feel a lot of emotions. I'm excited for next season, but at the same time, I'm sad to see this season go. I have a lot of great memories, and I know full well that it's time. It's time for the season to end and prepare for the next one. So instead of repeating myself in circles, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I love you all so dearly. Please take care of yourselves. I'm Blazer for Hire. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I hope to see you next time. See ya.